so they need 330 to win from 300 balls. Stopped by Bevan. There's a mix-up with the batsman. The umpire is calling for the third umpire. A direct hit would have got him. McGrath to bowl to Otieno. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. Stopped by Harvey. A very good over. Only one offered in the end.
The fielding restrictions provide the opportunity for attacking batsmen to score some fast early runs.
Lee to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Otieno facing. Hit straight to a fielder. The batsman will have to run these. The batsmen are coming back for a second. Hit straight at Harvey. Kenya move on to 5. Lee to Otieno.
Kenya will be looking to blast away from the start with fielding restrictions in place.
McGrath to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 6.5 and over. Great shot by Shah. That's the first boundary for Shah. He's worked that into the gap. Collected by Bevan. Trouble here. That's a superb throw.
Well, they got themselves in a right mess there and paid the price.
Hit straight at Harvey. McGrath at the start of his run-up. Commonday is now on strike. Hit straight at Martin. The required run rate has crept up to around 6.5 and over. Well, that has to be close.
Oh, wonderful fielding there. He was onto that ball so quickly.
Hit straight to a fielder. Lee at the start of his run-up. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. A very good over. Only one off it in the end.
Kenya are not pacing themselves very well here. They will suffer later on unless they keep close to the required run rate.
McGrath to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Warren reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Hit straight at Warren. He didn't quite get hold of that one properly. The batsman will have to run these. The batsmen are coming back for a second. He's going to have to move here. The umpire's not certain, so he's requesting the third umpire. He was struggling there, but somehow he's got away with it. Superb shot. That's the first boundary for Otieno. That's the end of the fifth over. The run rate stands at just under 6.5 and over. Lee to Dicolo. Warren just picks that up inside the rope. Otieno facing. Hit straight at Ponting. He didn't quite get hold of that one properly. Otieno moves into double figures with those runs, picked up by Harvey. A very good over. Only 2 off it in the end. McGrath to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Great shot by Otieno. Just over-pitched by McGrath.
Lovely shot. It raced away to the fence for 4.
McGrath continues. Long hop and dispatch for 4. Placed that superbly.
Well, that was much too short from the bowler. 4 runs.
The fielder will cut that off. 43 overs are left in the innings. Lee to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 6.5 and over. Stopped by Bevan. Lee continues. Comfortably taken, no worries.
A slight fumble, but safely taken in the end.
Adumbe awaits his first ball. Good stroke for 4. That's the first boundary for Adumbe. Lee to Adumbe. Stopped by Hayden. 42 overs are left in the innings. McGrath to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 7 and over. Warren reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Hit straight at Warren. Adumbe waiting at the striker's end. He's worked that into the gap. Bevan just picks that up inside the rope. That's edged and out. Adumbe goes for only 6. That ball is really moving. A brilliant reflex catch. .41 overs are left for Kenya. The required run rate has crept up to around 7 and over. Stopped by Warren. Lee to Dicolo. He's worked that into the gap. Martin just picks that up inside the rope. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Lee to bowl to Dicolo. Lee to Dicolo. It's straight at Lehman. That's the end of the 10th over. McGrath to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 7 and over. That's a lovely way to get off the mark. Pushed into the gap. The batsmen are after 2. Fielded in the deep by Ponting. Superb shot. Nicolo moves into double figures with those runs. Nicolo is now facing. Hit straight to a fielder. .39 overs are left for Kenya. Lee to Adoyo. The required run rate is around 7 and over. That's too short, and it's been dispatched before. That's the first boundary for Adoyo. Lee continues. He's worked that into the gap. Adoyo moves into double figures with those runs. Hit straight to a fielder. Nicolo is now facing. That must be close. And the umpire's given it. Nicolo makes his way back to the dressing room. 38 overs are left in the innings. The new batsmen won't face for the time being. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Play it away with comfort. The sweeper picks up. That's straight up in the air. That's the first boundary for Mohammed Sheikh. That's straight up in the air. He spilled it. Oh, dear.
Well, there's a chance gone missing. He couldn't take the catch, and it could prove costly.
McGrath continues. It's high in the air. Picked up very early by Mohammed Sheikh.
That was an excellent shot. Very exciting to watch.
Superb shot. That takes him into double figures. 37 overs are left for Kenya. We're about to see the first bowling change. Now the run rate stands at just over 7 and over. It's high in the air. Simons won't like that at all.
What an effortless shot. Brilliant.
Simons to bowl to Adoyo. There it goes. Adoyo has now moved into the 20s. There it goes. Adoyo really takes advantage of anything over pitch.
Lovely shot. It raced away to the fence for 4.
I think he was easily back in the crease there. It's straight at Martin. Well, that'll beat the fielder. He was onto that in a flash.
Fantastic shot there. He knew it was 4 as soon as he struck it.
18 runs came from that over. McGrath to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 6.5 and over. That's too short. 4 runs, picked up very early by Mohammed Sheikh.
Well, that was much too short from the bowler. 4 runs.
McGrath continues. That's gone high in the air. Mohammed Sheikh has now moved into the 20s. Mohammed Sheikh is now on strike. Hit straight at Harvey. Now the run rate stands at just over 6.5 and over. That's through the gap and it'll go for 4. Picked up very early by Odoyo.
He loves the ball in that area. Great shot. 4 runs.
Simons at the start of his run-up. It's high in the air. He found the gap with precision.
He'll have enjoyed that one. It was 4 the moment it left his bat.
It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. That's cut off by Hayden. Oh, that is an excellent shot by Mohammed Sheikh. That was sweetly timed.
That was a poor ball, and it got the treatment it deserved.
Simons continues. No! 34 overs are left in the innings. McGrath to begin a new over. Now the run rate stands at just over 6.5 and over. Stopped by Harvey. Odoyo is now on strike. Pushed into the gap. The batsmen are after 2. Fielded in the deep by Hayden. That's straight up in the air. That easily cleared the boundary.
The fielder just watched it. Going, going, going.
Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. He played all around it. He really made a mess of the batsman's stumps there. Mohammed Sheikh makes his way back to the dressing room.
That one went right through him. It was as if he completely misjudged the delivery.
So there was 9 off that over. The new batsmen won't face for the time being. The run rate stands at just under 6.5 and over. Simons to Odoyo. Well, it's going to reach the boundary. Well, that was a very confident shot.
That was a wonderful shot. He looks in great shape out there.
Kenya really up against it now. A nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. He's found the gap with that one. That's the first boundary for Modi. 32 overs are left in the innings. We're about to see a change in the bowling. The run rate stands at just under 6 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Ponting reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Lee to Adoyo. Lee continues. The batsman will have to run these. Modi waiting at the striker's end. So they need 204 to win from 188 balls. That's straight up in the air. That was well held. It was in the air a long time.
That went up miles. It had snow on it by the time it came down.
Sushi facing his first ball. Sushi is off the mark. Simons to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 6.5 and over. There it goes. Well, that nearly joined us up here in the commentary box.
Well, he really hit that a long way. Exciting stuff.
Sushi waiting at the striker's end. Over the top and away for 4. That takes him into double figures. It's high in the air. Played with a beautifully straight bat.
The bowler didn't do too much wrong there. It was just an excellent shot.
Simons to Suji. There it goes. He's timing the ball perfectly today.
He played that with a lovely straight bat. He'll be pleased.
That's gone high in the air. Sushi has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. Simons at the start of his run-up. That's the end of the 20th over. The run rate stands at just under 6 and over. Played off the back foot. It's been an excellent innings so far by Adoyo. Adoyo has reached his 50 from 27 balls. The batsmen are coming back for a second. That's over the rope. 6 runs off Lee. They were diving for cover with that one.
What an effortless shot. Brilliant.
Lee to bowl to Adoyo. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Simons to continue with his off-spin. The run rate stands at just under 5.5 and over. Forced off the back foot. Simons at the start of his run-up. The batsman will have to run these. Doyo waiting at the striker's end. Hit straight at Hayden. A very good over. Only 2 off it in the end. Lee to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. The fielder will cut that off. "27 overs are left in the innings, and we have a change of bowling. The required run rate has crept up to around 6 and over. Hit straight to a fielder. Suji facing. McGrath to Suji. That's gone high in the air. That was 4 the moment it left his back.
Well, it was in the air, but there's no one there. No risk.
McGrath to Suji. There's a mix-up with the batsman. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? McGrath continues. That's gone high in the air. McGrath is not impressed.
The bowler didn't do too much wrong there. It was just an excellent shot.
That's gone high in the air. Partnership for the 8th wicket is now worth 55. That over helped the run rate somewhat. Lee bowled the last of his allotted overs. The run rate stands at just under 5.5 and over. Steered expertly into the gap. The batsmen are coming back for 2. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Suji facing. Super wicket keeping. Lee to Suji. That's 4 runs. Super shot by Suji.
Well, you don't see that shot played much better than that.
That's the halfway mark. 25 overs. We're about to have a change of bowling with the leg spin of Warne. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. He's got that away for what looks like 4 runs. Warne is not impressed.
He played that shot perfectly.
Beautiful shot. Picked up very early by Adoyo.
That was good batting. He picked his spot, didn't try to smash it, just stroked it through the gap.
That's racing away for 4. Adoyo won't miss anything bowled too full.
Poor bowling. His captain won't be too happy with him after that delivery.
He's got it into the gap. Stopped by Hayden. He's got it into the gap. He looked as if he was home to me. 13 runs came from that over. We're about to see a change in the bowling. The run rate stands at just under 5 and over. That's cut behind square. That's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. Adoyo facing. That's 4 runs. Well, that really was a super stroke.
The captain might be forced to make a change in the bowling if the bowler keeps bowling like that.
Pushed into the gap. The batsmen are coming back for 3. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. 9 runs were picked up from that over by Harvey. Adoyo facing. Now the run rate stands at just over 5 and over. Suji is now on strike. The batsman will have to run these. He's worked that into the gap. There should be some runs here. The batsman will have to run these. Harvey to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Stopped by Lehman. The batsman will have to run these. Ponting just picks that up inside the rope. Harvey to Adoyo. He's worked that into the gap. The total is now 7 for 216. The fielder will cut that off. Crowd are standing to applaud him. His 50 has come up off 33 balls. Adoyo is now facing. The required run rate has crept up to around 5 and over. Well, it's going to reach the boundary. That was a fantastic back foot shot.
That was a wonderful shot. He looks in great shape out there.
There's a mix-up with the batsman. He looked as if he was home to me. Hit straight at Hayden. It'll be 4 more to the total. That was a real textbook shot.
Well, you don't see that shot played much better than that.
That's the end of the 30th over. Adoyo waiting at the striker's end. The run rate stands at just under 5 and over. Play it away with comfort. Partnership for the 8th wicket is now worth 100. Ponting out there in the deep. Harvey to bowl to Adoyo. Sushi is now on strike. The batsman will have to run these. Harvey at the start of his run-up. It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. That takes him into the 90s. 19 overs are left for Kenya. We're about to see a change in the bowling. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. He looked as if he was home to me. Adoyo is now on strike. He's worked that into the gap. Adoyo is now facing. Ouch, that must have hurt. Martin to bowl to Adoyo. Played into the gap.
Yeah.
18 overs are left in the innings. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. The batsman will have to run these. Ponting just picks that up inside the rope. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Suji is now facing. The fielder will cut that off. Ponting reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Played into the gap.
No!
17 overs are left for Kenya. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Suji facing. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Adoyo is now on strike. That's through, bowl in. Always a great sight for the bowler to see the batsman stump out of the ground.
What a great sight for a bowler. Stumps flying in all directions.
Adoyo eventually goes for 96. That was a superb knock by Adoyo.
He played so well, but he had a century within reach. He'll be really disappointed.
The next batsman in is the right-handed Suji. Great take by the wicketkeeper. Martin continues. It's in the air. That easily cleared the boundary.
Great strike. It looked like six the moment he struck it.
.16 overs are left for Kenya. Harvey to begin a new over. Now the run rate stands at just over 5 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Ponting reaches it before it crosses the boundary. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Up and over and 4 runs. That was 4 the moment it left his back.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
Harvey continues. fielder will cut that off. It's straight at McGrath. There's a mix-up with the batsman. I think he was easily back in the crease there. He didn't quite get hold of that one properly. That's the end of the 35th over. Now the run rate stands at just over 4.5 and over. Stopped by McGrath. Suji facing. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Cut away. It should just reach the fence. That takes him into double figures. 14 overs are left in the innings. Harvey to begin a new over. Now the run rate stands at just over 4.5 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Batsmen are looking for 3. Ponting reaches it before it crosses the boundary. There it goes. There's a nice bit of timing.
That's not the right line to bowl to this batsman. He'll punish anything there.
Harvey at the start of his run-up. Suji is now facing. It's straight at Simons. There's a mix-up with the batsman. I think he was easily back in the crease there. The run rate stands at just under 4.5 and over. There should be some runs here. Harvey to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. There's a mix-up with the batsman. It's high in the air. Sushi has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. It's in the air. Oh, he's dropped it.
That's really annoying for the bowler. I wouldn't like to be in that fielder's shoes when they get back into the rooms.
It's high in the air. Harvey continues. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. "11 overs are left in the innings. Martin to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 4 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Batsmen are looking for 3. Ponting reaches it before it crosses the boundary. I think he was easily back in the crease there. He's worked that into the gap. Sushi is now on strike. Gone, caught.
Well taken. He never looked like dropping it.
Sushi is finally out for 82. That was a superb knock by Sushi.
He will have enjoyed that innings, but the fielding team will be disappointed that they let a tail-ender score so many.
That's the end of the 40th over. The new batsman won't face for the time being. The required run rate is around 4 and over. He smashed that away. Just overpitched by Harvey.
He gave him a lot of width and paid the price. The batsman enjoyed that.
They have 10 overs to get 38. Nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. Batsmen are coming back for a third. Harvey at the start of his run-up. That could be a very painful blow. Kenya move on to 295. And Yango is now on strike. Harvey is back in the attack. It's straight at Simons. The new batsman comes in at the non-striker's end. The required run rate is around 3.5 and over. Martin to Suji. Martin to Suji. Martin continues. That was an athletic stop by the keeper. The required run rate has crept up to around 4 and over. And Yango is off the mark. Steered expertly into the gap. Fielded in the deep by Bevan. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Lovely late cut. Seven overs are left for Kenya. Martin to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 3.5 and over. And Yango facing. Martin to bowl to Onyango. Well taken by Gilchrist. It's straight at Harvey. Martin to bowl to Onyango. Played into the gap. That takes him into double figures. Hit straight at McGrath. We're going to see the leg spinner worn. The required run rate has crept up to around 3.5 and over. Our shot. Placed that superbly.
He picked that ball up beautifully. The bowler will have to be careful not to put the ball in that area again.
It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. Ponting cuts that off. That's racing away for 4. Yango has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. And that's the end of the 45th over. The new batsman comes in at the non-striker's end. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2 and over. Martin at the start of his run-up. Warren to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. That's rolling towards the fence. It should be 4 runs. He watched that onto the bat perfectly.
That was good cricket from the batsman. He placed it, didn't try to hit it too hard.
Kenya have taken their total on to 9 for 322. Suji is now on strike. It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. The batsmen are in trouble here. Hit straight at Ponting.
Right. No!
3 overs are left in the innings. Martin to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1.5 and over. That was an athletic stop by the keeper. The new batsmen weren't faced for the time being. The required run rate has crept up to around 2.5 and over. Play it away with comfort. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Brilliantly caught.
Well done, the fieldsman. He really backed up the bowler's effort.
So to sum up then, Australia win by 4 runs.